Major update for everybody on the video I put out last Friday. The DC comedy event is back on. So look at this fancy little graphic I made. Tim Pool Show 1. The DC Comedy Loft has apologized. They said it was all a mistake, but we'll break this down because the story is, for those that didn't see it, we're putting on a live comedy show this Saturday. Link in the description below. It's comedy politics, right? We're trying to do debates that are going to be fun, informative, but entertaining. So we want to have a comedic edge to this so that we're not constantly at each other's throats, but laughing about these things to the best of our abilities. We have 3 events scheduled, July 26th, August 2nd, August 9th at the DC Comedy Loft. Well, my friends, this image that I'm showing you, it's funny. They made this red graphic with an X over my face, and it said, call the venue and tell them don't let Tim Pool do a show there, and the venue obliged. Thursday night, they nuked everything. Refunded all the tickets, and shut our events down, in breaking our contract, and without warning, without notice, despite us sorting all of this out with them in the first place. We won. They backed down. Apparently, the owner got involved and said, this is an error. You know, we agree with free speech. We are not shutting the event down. We're going to get it restored. And my genuine thoughts are, I don't think the owner actually knew. I think the owner is being honest. But I do believe that they've been handling this somewhat poorly. And so what I do want to say is it is a tremendous cultural victory that they have decided to put our shows back on and restored the link this Saturday. All the tickets are refunded, so I have no idea what's going to happen. People are going to be showing up. Their tickets aren't going to be in the system, and we have no idea how it's going to go down because we had sold hundreds of tickets. And now what happens if we double up? What if one guy shows up and it's like, I bought preferred seating, and then someone else says, I bought a ticket when they restored it, and now we've got people outside who can't get in. This is a problem for us, but I hope to see you guys there. This Saturday, Gavin McInnes, Matan Even. It's going to be a big show. Debating, did Trump win? We will invite you guys up on stage to join us in that debate, to get more people involved. Maybe the arguments will be bad, but we'll give you your time. We do have some liberals who will be attending to debate the inverse, that Trump is not winning. And I bet Epstein's going to be the big play here. But this is why this story is so important that it gets its own segment. First, obviously, guys, I have to re-promote the event because they refunded everything. And we don't even know what's going to happen now. And a lot of people still think the event is canceled. But let me tell you what happened. There is an Instagram post, which I don't want to show because it has all their information on it, that was showing phone numbers and emails. It's all publicly available on their website, but they were telling people, call the venue, email them, and shut Tim Pool down. I was surprised that they were targeting me, of all people. The venue apparently did it. They wouldn't, our bookers were trying to call, they wouldn't respond. And then eventually, we get no word, so I say, okay, I'm going to put out a video, and I did. It got a ton of coverage. It got 250,000 views Friday morning. It was a big story. And hey, man, the biggest mistake anybody can make is creating drama with Tim Pool on a slow news day, because all the outlets were like, we're desperate for news, and they ran the story. So they caved. Now, interesting things started to happen. Legitimate review bombing. And I say review bombing because most people are going to assume that anytime someone goes to a venue and gives it a 1 star over a campaign like this, it's fake. In fact, our members, our fans, and our ticket holders started posting reviews saying, like, I got a hotel, I bought a flight, or I got a train. I'm staying nearby to come to this show, because we don't do a lot of shows. And they shut it down, screwing over all of these people. And we were promoting your event. Here's a funny thing. So somebody comments, and on the Google review, they responded with, you have been heard, the shows are back on. And this is news to me. Now, I end up hearing that the owner was unaware of this, that it was a decision made by the staff, and I believe this is correct. That's why I'm saying, first of all, I'm telling you what's going on in a sort of neutral tone, because if this goes off without a hitch on Saturday, this venue deserves all the praise. The owners deserve praise for not backing down. However, that being said, we don't exactly know what's going to happen because they canceled all the tickets. We don't even know how people are going to show up. Now, they've said, don't worry, they'll take care of us, and they're going to take responsibility for that. And that's a good thing. So come Saturday, the 2nd and the 9th, we've got 3 shows. Gavin McInnes and Matan Even. We've got some liberals booked, but we'll see who ends up making it. Nobody big. The big names got scared, as they always do. August 2nd, Michael Melson, Angry Cops. We will be debating policing in the United States. Both very funny guys. And on the 9th, is feminism destroying the West? Repeal the 19th will be the debate. We've got Kyla, the liberal. You've seen her on the show before. We've got Myron Gaines, and we're actually looking at potentially another person. Those events you can find all at the DC Comedy Loft. Now, here's the thing. With those tickets being canceled, I don't know how it's going to play out. In the event we do these shows and everything goes off without a hitch, then this venue actually absolutely deserves praise and 5-star reviews, because then it goes to show that they will not back down. And they stood up for us in the face of Antifa threats. Now, a lot of people are saying, no, Tim, they screwed you over. No, let me tell you what happened. Here's what I think happened. There's an owner. Owner's not involved in the day-to-day handling of booking individual events. I sympathize with this. I empathize, because I, as the owner, people come to me and they say, hey, Tim, where's the toilet paper? I'll be like, bro, I have no idea where the toilet paper is. If it's not in the bathroom, you got to find somebody else who knows, because I don't deal with that. So my understanding is Antifa started threatening, calling in, and they took their phone off the hook because the calls got bad or something like this. And then they're probably thinking, the staff just go, guys, I'm not dealing with this. I don't know what's going on. Just take it down so they stop calling. Cancel it. Get it off the site. But not the owner, because the owner's not involved in the day-to-day. Well, they wouldn't respond to our calls. We were calling the venue. We were calling the bookers. And they were like, they ghosted us. Now, some speculate, because I said I will not be shut down, put out this video, the inverse cancellation on the DC Comedy Loft was so overbearing. They said, stop, bring the show back. I do think that played a role, because we saw this post on Google where they said, you have been heard, the shows are back on. And this was before I heard anything from the owner. That being said, we got a message, and this is relayed to me through my team, because I don't handle all the minutia here. We got a message that the owner was very unhappy, never wanted the show canceled, never agreed to cancel it, that it was their managers who decided to do it without asking them. And the owner would have said, the backlash, are you nuts? You can't do this. The phone calls are nothing compared to shutting a show down. 3 of them, no less, with several high-profile individuals with millions of followers. What are you thinking? So I feel bad for the owner. So imagine this. You own a club. You hire a guy to manage the venue, and you're like, just take care of it. Let me know. There's some things I'm involved with, some things I'm not. The owner probably has multiple businesses. And then one day you find out they took it upon themselves to cancel 3 shows where there's probably 20 million combined followers among these shows. It's like, what do you think is going to happen when you nuke shows that sold hundreds of tickets, that was being that people were coming to see all these very high-profile personalities? One of their biggest shows, mind you. Because it's a great venue. It's small. It's only 200. We don't expect with 3 shows. If we did one show, maybe we could sell. If we did one show and gave a few months' notice, I bet we'd sell a few thousand tickets. But we're doing a weekly show, meaning we expect to sell like 40 or 50 because they're pre-taped Culture War podcast events. And so who's going to show up every single week? Locals. How many fans who has time and want to come? Yeah, maybe 50 to 100, if we do a weekly event. Maybe we won't do it in there anymore. So they've backed down. We are officially back. But this is the point here. It's not just about me and this event and telling you all this. It's about winning the culture war. Could you imagine this happening in 2019? We did an event. Antifa threatened to burn the theater down, and they canceled us and said, sue me. And we were like, okay. And they were like, fine. They didn't care. They said, you don't understand. These people are psychopaths. And we did not have the cultural force to push back. We asked one venue, and the owner was cool with it. And then it said, my staff told me they'll all walk out if we book you. And it's like, guys, this is 2019. I had not endorsed Donald Trump. I didn't say I was voting for the guy or anything like that. That's how psychotic it was back in 2019. Now it's 2025. I have voted for Trump twice. I have supported the Republicans and largely do. Critical to a certain degree. And they will not shut us down. Many people have pointed out it's because in D.C. it's illegal to discriminate on the basis of political affiliation. And it was. I had people saying, nah, Tim, you can't. There's going to say security. And I'm like, oh, security? If a security risk comes to a venue, do they just delete the show, cancel it without notice? No, they warn you of the security risk. They try to mitigate the security risk, but there's a conversation about it. I would know because we were supposed to do an event at John Rich's club in his honky tonk in Nashville. and we had a very serious security threat. And John talked to me about it, and I said, I don't care about the threat. Let's do it. And he goes, Tim, there are children walking down this street, and this threat seems legitimate. And I said, you are correct. I get it. And that was it. And then I said, okay, I won't do it. He didn't tell me get the F out and shut me down without notice. He said, hey, buddy, we got to consider the families. And do we want to bring this heat that we have onto those people, those bystanders? And I said, you're right. We shouldn't. Now, as for these events, there's not going to be any issues. No one's going to protest. Nothing's going to happen. Times have changed. Trump won the popular vote. The game is done. I will not abide by this. But I'm going to tell you something, my friends. You know what the real challenge we have is? I want to throw this in the mix. I just love this post. This is a post from the Joe Rogan subreddit a year ago. Tim Pool with great takes as always. This is a post from March of 24. Clearly, it's from March. This person is not from the United States. It should be illegal to not believe in God, Tim Pool says, which was simultaneously posted at the exact same time. It should be illegal to believe in God. It should be illegal to not believe in God. Because the point I had made was there are bubbles on X where liberals, and this proves my point, liberals will share only single individual things and ignore the rest, and conservatives the same. And it's like planting a seed. I make these two posts. Conservatives are going to retweet the one about you have to believe in God, and liberals are going to post the one where liberals are going to basically post whichever one makes conservatives look bad. Conservatives are going to post the one they agree with. It's not necessarily that each tweet was one for one. So the same tweet gets posted like crazy for different reasons, ignoring that I posted both and then explained quite literally. If I post something like, for instance, the other day, I said, why are Democrats voting to have the government publish child porn? Liberals posted it, ignoring the full thread and everything I had posted, as often is the case. And that was the point I was proving a year ago. People will then build up an image, an idea of who I am and what I believe based off of seeing every third post I make, which ignores the entirety of all of my arguments. It's true for everybody, but that's the internet. This is driving everybody insane, which is why we want to do comedic, fun, political shows in person so that liberals have to sit next to conservatives and then realize, oh, I thought Tim Pool believed this. Oh, he actually doesn't. Oh, I thought Gavin believed this. Oh, I've never actually listened to a word he's had to say. That's the name of the game. And they're trying to shut down these in-person events because they want to isolate people and control what they see, hear, and think. But we've broken this, ladies and gentlemen, and we have won. So I hope you all attend. We've got to really pick up these sales because the event is in 5 days. And by canceling it, we don't even know who's going to show up now. To be fair, it is a live podcast taping. So the show goes up online 1 week after the live event. And we have the show either way. It's the podcast we do no matter what. But we want you there as an audience because we want people to come and join the debate. We want everyone to be who's there. Plus, we've got plans for an after party, members only. You can sign up to become a member. I think you get 2 free drinks. So if you become a member, you paid for your drinks. Congratulations. But hey, man, DC Comedy Loft, we hope to see you there. And I hope the event this Saturday goes off without a hitch so that we can all give them 5-star reviews and say thank you for not backing down. There's your update. Stay tuned. More segments coming. We'll see you all in the next bit.